So, you know how you think a little white lie doesn't hurt anything? Let me tell you, I think it does. Lying can make it so that you can pretend to be something you're not. When you lie to somebody, it's usually because you feel insecure about the truth, whether it be too good, too bad, or not enough, or too much, however you want to put it. When you do that, it's hard for you to begin to accept yourself and who you really are and what you want and what you have done. And if you start to forget about those things that brought you to this point, you start to disconnect. And that can make it really hard to try to make new connections, proper connections, connections that match who you are or who you want to be. If you lie, it's hard for you to try to remember what is the truth and what isn't. And if it's hard for you to remember who you really are and what you're about, where you came from, it can be one of the hardest tasks available to anyone to try to move from your true point in life to where you want to be versus just projecting it out there for others or maybe yourself. And there's forms of lying, like being optimistic, but that's more of a fantasticizing things, and I'm all for that. If you tried something out and you really sucked at it really bad, but you want to tell yourself, well, that wasn't that bad, that's okay. You can do that. But when you tell your boss, oh, why'd you take so long, and you stopped at your buddy's house for like 20 minutes after a delivery or something, and you tell him, for the pickup, we had a lot of trouble finding the guy. That is an outright made up event. You don't do that. Or if you tell stories that you aim for people to believe to be true about you, that's a lie. And it's almost always for the wrong reason, or some of them for the right reason. A lot of those I don't agree with either, because eventually it comes to drain on you and what you're trying to accomplish. And you're kicking your own self in the ass, honestly, when you do something like that. It just holds you back. It makes it so you think that that story you put out there, either to yourself or to others, is part of your life. And in a way it is. It's kind of a tumor of your life, a pitfall, if you will. Pardon me. For you to fall back into. And that kind of safety net just makes it easier to not be who you are in your core and who you want to be, maybe. A lie really muddles things up. And just one lie, imagine 25 in the same year or to the same person, just about things you haven't done or have done that you've lied about. And you can just completely forget about a problem you have, and you could turn, oh, I didn't have a good relationship with my father, into I really need to work on my diet, and just never wondering why you eat so much, because when you were little, maybe, I don't know, maybe he didn't come home a lot, and when he did, he brought lots of food, so now you eat a lot when you feel lonely, and it just manifested into something. And you lied to yourself about you being lonely, and instead you just went to the food. And it was that simple. That's all it took for you to just start eating a lot when you're lonely, because you're trying to make up for something. If you were more honest with yourself more often, your subconscious, your dreams even will be more honest with you if you can just open your eyes to the idea that you can be who you are. Yes, these things did happen in your past. That's okay. That's part of your experience. It's your special, unique flavor to this world, and I'll never judge you for it, because I have no idea what your background is, what your thoughts are, who afflicted you or maybe impressed you in your life. And being more honest more often has given me some kind of clarity. I don't know, telling my boss that I was late because I really wanted to spend some time with my sons. Just watching a show in the morning. I should have been driving away, but they were both sitting in my lap. We were watching a great little kid show, I must admit. It's pretty awesome, I think. It's one of the few I approve of. And it was a moment that I didn't want to give up. And I don't think it's worth X amount of dollars per hour to just give that up. And that was me telling the truth. And did it fall on unappreciative ears? Yeah. But I know in my heart that that was the truth, and that's why. And now I don't have to try to make up a story why. When you're more honest, a lot more honest, the idea is to be honest all the time, and it's slow but sure. But if you can do that, if you can just take those steps where you would normally lie and just tell the truth, you might not be with that person in the relationship you don't want to, or you might not have that job you don't want to have, or you might, maybe it's even a pet that you just lie to yourself, oh, but the pet's really nice, and you have no idea how to take care of a parakeet, something. Just be more honest with yourself. And if you're not going to read about how to take care of it, be honest with yourself then. It just moves things along faster. Instead, lying to yourself, you kind of turned it into like Congress, how long it could take to pass a law through yourself. Just be honest, accept the truth. These are facts, and let's move forward with it. Lies can really muddle things up. And when you get into it, you get into like a flow. I've started noticing there's like a flow, and you have goals that you can stick to, instead of just a few like, oh, I'm going to pay the rent, or yeah, I'm going to start this business. You can like when you're encountered with all of this stimuli in the world and you're not sure which is which, and indecision has your mind, when you're more honest more often, it's easier to see which way to go. And that's my take on things. Thanks guys for listening. If you liked the video, hit the like button, share it on Facebook please for my fan page, and thanks guys, I'll see you soon.